Hey, welcome back. Oh man, our next guest is a kid I've known forever. Good friend, and most amazingly, a world traveler. This guy's been everywhere. 2 years ago, he was on this show, and then he was off again and running. He's also an amazing musician. You don't believe me? I'll prove it. My name's Vin Dacquino. His name is Todd David Goldfinger. Todd, prove it. Ah, well done, sir. Well, Todd, amazing job. Can't wait to get you back over here. Talk to you a little bit about where you played. Now, you did that amazing bass overseas. Tell me a little bit about your music history overseas.
Overseas, there's a lot of music that I played overseas, especially in Germany. I was living in Germany for about 12 years, but let's pick up where we left off. So I left New York.
Yep, you were back 2 years ago.
About 2 years ago,
Yep.
It was.
You were here on the
2017.
show. In fact, you did a couple shows.
Did a couple shows for you
Yep.
here. It was fantastic. I really had a great time.
Yep.
It was totally bizarre.
And then I lost my Todd again.
You lost your Todd again. Basically what happened is I went to Warsaw and visited a friend, and I started teaching English.
Wow.
Again,
Yep,
which
yep.
I'd done for...
I know you had done that before you left.
Exactly.
Because you spent, what, like 12 years in Germany or something,
Yeah,
right?
something like 12 years
Wow.
if I put it all together. Then
Yeah, and when you were a kid, you were in the day camp that I used to work in.
Exactly. I had a
were-
great time being in your poetry
Yeah.
camp. It was
Yeah, and
fantastic.
you were writing, and great writing.
Thank you.
I expected you to come up with your first novel instead of your first album,
Right.
but that's all right.
That's all right. That's all right. That's the way it went. Somehow it was easier for me to express myself on the instrument without lyrics or anything like that, and to make melodies and things like that, and sometimes a little bit melancholy and things like that. And yeah.
What was the name of that rock group you were in?
So I was in a band called Coronatus,
Okay.
and I was in a band called Tervingi, which is another band, and basically, yeah, I played in many heavy metal bands in Germany.
Are the clubs in Germany a lot like the American clubs?
It's a little bit different. I mean, things are getting to be more like the U.S. now.
Yeah.
Where it's like you have to pay to play.
Wow.
Things like that.
Yeah,
if you want to
okay.
open up for a big band, you actually have to pay money.
Wow, really?
Yeah, things like that. Yeah. But there's so many things I want to tell you.
I know. I know. The
to
show is
begin?
never enough. So tell me where you've been for 2 years.
Okay, so I went to Warsaw, where I spent about 4 months teaching English, and then I went to Turkey, and I'm just going in my pocket just because I have a couple of notes.
Good, that's right.
You know, about where I've been and things like that, if I can find it. Anyway.
Somewhere in there.
It's somewhere in there. Basically what happened is I went to Turkey to visit
Wow.
a beautiful girlfriend of mine, who's an actress. And
You don't have to get into too
I
many
won't go into
details.
too many details. It's wonderful time spent. And basically, I spent 5 months in Turkey.
And did you teach? You didn't teach in Turkey, did you?
No, I didn't teach in Turkey, but I did teach in Turkey.
Oh.
Yeah, I did. Sorry. My mind is going because I'm looking for my piece of paper. Basically, I taught English there, and then I went back to Poland. I went to Krakow, which is a great city, a really great city. I don't know if anybody's ever been there. Krakow is really fantastic. And
What's it like? Would you compare it to any?
I can't
American
compare
cities?
Krakow. No, because
It's like
it doesn't-
no place
The
else.
thing is, it doesn't have the history that Krakow has, because Krakow, it has synagogues from the 1400s
Oh my God.
that are still intact. They were not destroyed during the war.
Oh my
So
God.
that's the thing about Krakow. And it's very close to Auschwitz, so if people go there, there's the salt mine, there's Auschwitz, things to see.
Yeah.
Krakow, great, I recommend it. If you ever go to Poland, if you're ever in that neck of the woods, then
Definitely go there.
Definitely go there. And I got inspired by the Jewish heritage, and I made something called a dude star. I don't know if it's possible to get
What's it
a
called?
dude star
Okay.
right here. Yeah, there we go.
Right.
It's in this. Yeah.
And you were inspired to do this. This is made out of wood, right?
This is made of wood. This is a laser cut. This was done at a place called Fab Lab, which is really
Beautiful
great.
job.
Thank you. And this was done by a machine, and they, these little.
Now, what
things.
inspired you to do that?
Well, I saw, it's supposed to say Jude with a Jude, and what I did is I changed it and made it dude, and so people can wear these, and since there's, it's a little bit controversial, but there's, rise in anti-Semitism and things like that. So I wanted to build awareness for the people.
Yep.
The
Yeah,
Jewish people still exist.
Unfortunately, I
haven't
hear you.
taken them all out yet, but this is my saying. I'm a dude. It also, it's like
You are a dude.
I'm a dude.
So you were in Krakow.
Yeah.
For several months.
Yeah, I was in Krakow for several months, and then what happened next? Oh, I didn't. Whatever.
You can go through that while you're talking. That's not a problem.
It's not a problem.
So after Krakow.
Yeah, after Krakow, there was. I went back to Germany to visit my stepson, who I really loved a lot. He's a great guy, and he's about 21 now, and. I spent my 40th birthday with my stepson, just sort of hanging out and
that's cool.
partying and doing all sorts of things like that.
Yeah. Won't go into any detail for that.
No details for that either. Not gonna have any details for that either. Basically, after that, I
Did you do any playing?
I did. The thing is, after the divorce and everything like this, I sort of went into a little bit of a depression and things like that, and it was hard for me to play, and that's why I thought it was so important to start the show off.
To get back in again.
Get back into it, show people that I play, and know that the 26 years that I played has not all been for naught.
Yep.
And
so you still have that desire to play.
Well,
I mean, you're an amazing bass player.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I really I try to do something different on the bass. I want to show people something different. I've come from a different angle completely, where I'm playing the flamenco technique on the bass.
Wow.
And things like that. And
that's not typical bass.
Not typical bass. It's with a lot of chords and things like that involved, interspersed, and.
So after Krakow?
After Krakow, I went back to Germany to spend time with my stepson. And then basically after that, I went sort of into a depression, and I was hospitalized again. I hospitalized myself. I Basically I went
To get your head together.
I had to get my head together, and it was very difficult for me because there's a whole thing that I'm leaving out here. There's that actually I attempted to go to Israel and I got deported. I never,
Oh.
yeah, that's the
Uh-oh.
that's I tried to go to Israel. And basically, don't go to Israel if you don't have a return ticket or a hotel booked or anything like that. Don't go to Israel and they will deport you.
But things are tight these days. And
Things are a little bit tight these days, and what happened is I got deported, and I got put in this sort of, not a detention center, well maybe it's like a daycare center for grown-ups, basically.
There you go.
They're keeping everybody in line, and I was there with some Russian people who were misplaced, and some Filipinos who came there to see Jesus, obviously, and things like that. So when they deported me, they sent me back the way I came, which was with a stopover in Moscow. What happened was I was in Moscow, and I was feeling really, really bad. So I said, please, can I talk to a doctor? They brought out these medics, these two medics. They didn't speak a word of English or German or anything else, and they gave me this pill, and I took this pill, and I fell asleep. I missed my flight.
Oh my God.
I only had 50 euros left in my pocket, and basically I was
Stuck in Russia.
stuck without paddle. There was no paddle. I was stuck in Russia with the only thing to my aid was my Google Translator, and I had internet. They gave me internet access. They were very kind about that. And I was able to Google Translate my way back into, I got stuck in the airport for 3 days.
Wow.
I was there for 3 days, which was ridiculous. And I had to convince them that I'm not a spy because people were not talking to me. They thought I was a spy. So I used the Google Translate and say, look, I overslept my flight and I need to get out of here. I don't have any resources, really. And the airport was being run by one airline. I'm not going to mention names, but it was being run by one airline only. And so my mom tried to buy me a ticket for like a Lufthansa or something like that, and there was no way I could leave the airport. So I was really stuck there. And they got me a flight back to Germany. And when I got to Germany, I went to my friend's place, and I was completely freaked out of my mind. I started hallucinating that I thought I was in a concentration camp.
Oh my God.
I thought that this airport was doubling as a concentration camp for people, and that they were doing weird experiments. So when I got back to Germany, I told one of my friends this, and I said, maybe it's good to check yourself into, clinic.
Might be good to
right. So that's what I did. That's what they did. So they brought me, and it was very nice, and I spent a couple weeks there, but they put me on a very low dosage of medication. I take something called risperidone, and it's an antipsychotic, so I don't wake up in the middle of the night thinking I'm in the Moscow airport.
Really.
Doubling as a concentration camp. So that was one of the things that happened there, and I got released, and I went to spend time with my stepson again, and I went through a really bad depression, and I tried to overdose on pills.
Wow.
And that was the only time that I attempted anything like that. And I was found by the neighbors. I left the door open just a crack, just in case. And the neighbors found me on the floor. I was completely unconscious, and I couldn't stand up. I overdosed on. It was terrible. Everything I had, I took.
Yeah.
And I thought my life was over. I think the divorce really did a serious number on me.
Yeah, sure. All the things from the past came back to haunt you?
They all came back to haunt me, and I was living in the same town, and things weren't. I got stuck. There. So.
Yeah. But you're here, buddy.
Well,
so what happened?
What happened is I took a job. I took a job in Vietnam. There's something called Dave's ESL Cafe.
So from Germany, you went to Vietnam.
From Germany, not even a week after being in the hospital, I took this job, this English teaching job in Vietnam.
Wow.
And when I got to Vietnam, I didn't, well, I guess maybe I didn't put it all together, but I didn't be teaching kids. I wanted to teach adults and things like that. And actually, I made the mistake of signing the contract and then quitting and saying, you know, I can't do this. So not even an hour after signing the contract, they had my passport, and they wouldn't give my passport back unless I paid $650 US.
Oh my God.
That was awful.
And of course you didn't have 650 US.
Well, I made a couple of phone calls, and I actually got it together.
So you never actually taught in Vietnam?
I taught a little bit. I did a little bit of teaching, but what I got more interested in was filmmaking.
Oh.
And so what I did is I found a videographer, and we started filming people with mental illness. And I wanted to tell their stories, especially people who were like real characters, like you just couldn't take your eyes off of them.
Wow. And this is again Vietnam.
This is Vietnam, and in Hanoi, and basically we started filming these people, and yeah, it was very good.
Now
so that's in the works.
You don't speak Vietnamese.
I do not speak a single word of Vietnamese. I can speak German, but I don't speak Vietnamese, and yeah.
Wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy. Yeah. But the people are so friendly in Vietnam. They're really, really friendly.
Yeah, I heard. We had, there's a guest who's been here several times, Frank Hickey, and he's been over in Vietnam for a while, and he sends me pictures, and he just absolutely loved it. He said, what wonderful people they are.
Really nice, really very welcoming. They love Americans. They also they love Trump. There's a picture, there's like a caricature like that I walk past every day, and they would have it's like iconic kind of thing that it was there. It was very funny.
Yeah.
So
you were in Vietnam for a while, and then you came back here.
Yeah, I spent 3 months in Vietnam. I started the film, and I left it to the videographers, the filmmakers, the official filmmakers, let's say. I was sort of hosting and also a little bit of direction. And basically now it's up to them to just pass it on to somebody who's going to edit it and put it on YouTube, and we'll all get to see it someday. It's called Beautiful Minds.
Oh,
Beautiful Minds.
Oh, wow. Wow. So your heart is still into videography?
Yes, very much so. It's sort of like what happened is when I was 40, when I turned 40, I had sort of a crisis. And that's when I didn't want to live anymore. I just thought music, you know, I did all the music I wanted to do. I didn't even feel like playing the bass anymore. And then filmmaking sort of recharged this new thing. So it's like, hopefully I'll buy a camera and start doing some filming of my own, you know. But
so now you're back in the U.S.
I'm back in the U.S. I'm back in New York, back in Mayapack, and I'm here to see my mom, who's here.
Your mom, incidentally, has been a friend of ours for years.
Yes, of course.
Quite the person.
Yes.
And she's actually here in the studio today.
Yes.
Stood by your side and said,
my side.
Todd, come home.
She didn't tell me to come home, but I thought, you know, the holidays are coming, and I really wanted to be here. It's a difficult time because I lost my father, as you remember. You met him briefly.
It was,
91, December 91.
Yeah, I was with him the day he passed.
Yeah.
And heck of a guy, wonderful guy.
Fun.
And I know that threw you off your wheel for a while.
Yeah.
And it took a while to get back. But you know as well as I do, he wants you on your feet.
Yes, absolutely.
And you need to do that. In fact, we're almost at the anniversary of his passing.
Exactly, the 22nd. Yep. The 22nd of December.
I remember that day very clearly, Todd.
Yeah.
So you are back, and I want you to be back.
Thank you.
And I want you to feel good about yourself.
Right.
I want you to pursue that videography.
Yeah, filmmaking.
Yep, filmmaking. Thank you.
Filmmaking.
A lot easier to say than videography.
Let's make it easy.
So now you're back here. You're going to work. You're going to do whatever you have to do.
Yeah, I'm going to find some job, some work of kind.
Now, do you have any topics in mind?
Mental illness is a big topic. I really want to talk about it.
It's a wonderful topic.
Yeah.
You know, we need to focus on it. We need for people not to have a stigma. You know, mental illness doesn't mean you're a failure. It means you have something you have to succumb, something you have to get over. And
something you have to treat.
Yes, and
it needs to be treated.
It
has to be treated. It's sort of like diabetes, a little bit in a way. I wanted to add this other thing. When I was in Krakow 1 year ago, I did a DNA test.
Oh.
I did a DNA test, okay?
And
I found out
amazing results.
Amazing results. I found out that I have 4 genetic half siblings that I didn't know existed.
Wow.
I was going through my life 40 years without any siblings as an only child, and basically found out I have these 4 siblings. I met 2 of them. They're wonderful. They look like me. They have the same nose. We know it's, it's for real.
Wow. So wow. So that's amazing. So you did. Was that like this ancestor DNA?
23andMe. I did 23andMe and basically found out. It says, "Would you like to see your matches?" I said, "Okay." Clicked on it. You have 4 genetic half siblings.
Yeah, that's. Oh my God! What after all these years to discover that you are not an only child?
Exactly.
After all. Holy. And you met them.
I met 2 of them.
And
are
they local? I mean,
2 of them live in New York, and the other 2 live in California. And I have a brother who was on Survivor, and he has his own ice cream company, and he's hugely successful. And they're all very smart. That's what we all.
Yeah, there you go. Got to be your brother's disease.
Right. But the nose is really the thing.
Telling.
Very telling.
Now, wow, that is amazing. So there's a new you that was born.
There's a new me that was born at 40. That's exactly what happened,
good.
and I'm ready to do another 40 years or however.
It's time to be reborn.
It's time to be reborn.
And depression is yesterday.
It's yesterday. I want to live. And basically, I found a cause. That's what did it, is finding a cause, finding a reason, a way to help other people. And that's really what I want to do, and that's what I want to do here in New York is to help other people, especially.
And it's important. You know, Todd, you've known for years that I spent hours and hours and days in volunteering, helping writers and kids. And
it's a passion.
It's important to do.
Yeah.
And that's what the show is about. It's about people and their passion. That's why I wanted you back, Todd.
Thank you so much.
I wanted people to know that are there dark days? Will there be dark days? Yes. But you have to find the light.
Yes.
And I'm so proud of you, Todd, for finding the light. And you have to do that. It's so easy to quit. You need support people.
Yeah.
I know your mother has been like incredible. She's been great support for us too. Camille Goldfinger. She is.
Should we bring her out?
An amazing. She says no, don't bring me out. But she's been amazing. I know. Friends, you've relied on your friends. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, but my mom has been really one of the biggest supports.
I know she
I
has.
don't know what I would do without her.
And she's a wonderful example of never give up. Whatever your child does, it's your child, and you need to stand by that child. It's something I have always believed for my own. I have 2 children of my own. I have 2 grandchildren. Are they always absolutely the best? No, but they are to me. Do they always make the absolute right decisions? No, but I don't either. And sometimes we have to live with our decisions, and we have to live with our regrets. We have to understand that we have to move forward. And we have an obligation to the people we live with. And this is our time. In all the millions of years, those synagogues that have been there for thousands and thousands of years stand for something. They stand for the ability to keep on going.
Yes.
And you are a wonderful example of that.
To redefine, to be reborn in a way, to be like a phoenix.
Right. You have to say, my day begins today. And yes, my yesterdays were not the best, but they're yesterday.
Exactly.
It's today that's important. And you're living a great new today.
Yes, new today.
And living for a great new tomorrow.
Great new tomorrow.
Again, Todd, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Where do you go from here now? You're gonna.
From here now, I'm probably gonna go into the parking lot, go to the car, sit in the car, and
say, what did I say?
Think about my life.
I hope I said everything right.
Yeah.
You did. You did say everything
I
right,
hope so.
and you are an inspiration for people out there who believe that they're at the end of their rope. You're never at the end of your rope. The game is not over until it's over, and you have to keep on going. Todd, you know I'm a 2-time cancer survivor. it's not over until it's over. You've got to keep going day by day by day.
And find what you love.
And find what you love.
Do what you love.
Yep.
Find the resources, find the people, reach out.
Yeah. Well, I remember the one thing that Roy Campanella taught me, above all other things, it's good to be alive. It's good to be alive. And on those days when you think that you don't need to be anymore, you got to say it. It's good to be alive.
Yes, it's better than the alternative.
Yes, it is.
Which we
it's good to be on this show.
It's great to be on this show.
And
I gotta
it's
tell
great
you.
to have you here.
Thank you
Todd,
for having me again.
We want to be part of your rebirth.
Thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing. You are an inspiration. We want you back here on the show to tell us about the award-winning video that you've done and all of the things that you're working for.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to this message. Don't give up. Thank you, Todd.